After a defeat on Inferno, FURIA have come back and they have made it happen on Mirage. Their map pick, pretty convincingly, 16-10 victory, which it looked like it kind of just snowballed for them there. What are you guys thinking about that?
Yeah, that was a super impressive win by FURIA. I did not expect them to be able to pick up this map against Astralis, but we did get to see some of the old problems surrounding this Astralis lineup. We did say in the pregame coming into Mirage that it's a map that Astralis are not necessarily known to be good on. You know, when they were the best team in the world, when they arguably were the best team ever to touch Counter-Strike, Mirage was not like a map where you always felt secure that Astralis would win. And I think today we saw some of those, you know, same mistakes being made. The CT side wasn't really that good. FURIA got off to a good start. The T side wasn't really that inspired either. They got off to a decent start, but they fell short. So I don't know what you think, Maniac, but this to me looks like an Astralis that hasn't improved their Mirage at all, even from when they were being, you know, the best team in the world.
No, you're right. You're right. It pretty much looks like the Astralis that used to lose Mirage. Even then, when they were the best team in the world, and it just caught my ear when you said that. That's a fact now. We're talking about, when they were the best team in the world. And they are in a dire situation for sure. I think, you know, we were talking, and here we have the stats on screen as well, talking how about when the captain or in-game leader is having a great game, then he's probably feeling it. He's very lucid about his choices. And you can see here, Glaives, 7-20. Now, I don't want to make a direct connection because I think it's a little bit more complex than that. But you could clearly see Astralis out of breath on their T side. They lost 7 rounds in a row at the end. And anytime FURIA was one step ahead. When Astralis tried to fake the A side to have 2 Lurkers underground, FURIA was ready for it. 3 players on A, 1 player window. FURIA in a 3 versus 5. All stacked on the A side. Astralis crashes onto it and lose that round. So FURIA was one step ahead, and it's so weird for me to say it out loud when they play against Astralis.
It is a map, though, that allows for this proactive and aggressive Counter-Strike style. We did, as you said, we saw many situations where I felt FURIA were taking matters into their own hands. You know, we saw Abel J in a 3 versus 5 situation, sneak down on connection, go down, kill device and underground, and give FURIA a realistic chance of winning that round. They didn't win it, right? But they are taking matters into their own hands. They're constantly trying to be proactive with the way they play Counter-Strike, and I think that's something you gotta give FURIA a lot of credit for, because that's not easy, especially not when you're facing a team of this, the caliber of Astralis.
No, exactly. I mean, I know you picked up on Glaive there, but I made a note that he only had 5 kills by round 20, so both halves for him, where it's completely different Glaive to what we saw earlier against NIP, even in a best of 3.
And it is a problem, because I agree with you. I think when you're the in-game leader and you take so much responsibility on you, and you have a bad game, as Glaive arguably had in this one, then you are going to make some calls that, I don't know if it's going to be bad calls, but it's going to be calls where you don't feel the confidence behind them. And one of the most important thing, and you can probably attest to that as well, being a player or a former player like me, if you have an in-game leader who sounds very confident in the call that he makes, you as a player will also adopt that. You will feel, all right, I may not agree with this call, but he sounds to believe it so much, so it most likely will work. And that's probably not the aura Glaive have had around him in this game, where he really did struggle.
No, I agree, and even furthermore, I think that Astralis on other maps that we consider them masters of, for example, Nuke, for example, Inferno, even when they are in a bad situation, I feel like they read the situation and they still come out with a plan that is unawaited, right? Sure. Whereas here on that game, I feel like they were always doing what they were supposed to do, right? You're losing a round, you lose the next one, then the next logical solution would be to fake and go this way. But then if it's a chess game, right, FURIA is always a step ahead. And Mirage and maybe Overpass, but these are the only 2 maps that I would consider Astralis not able to fight back and really be creative and find that little detail that will give them a round when they are in dire situations. So now it gets complicated because we talk about Nuke. We are talking about Astralis facing Elimination on Nuke, a map they used to have a record on. They lost against FURIA. Like, how insane it is.
I mean, it's completely flipped. I don't even know what to say about this, because coming into this tournament as a whole, they literally came into the qualifiers. Week 1, that was it. They were out. First place, that's it. Didn't even touch it for the next 4 weeks of the tournament. Coming in here, just completely different story, especially on that last map, and obviously their first best of 1. It's a completely different Astralis to what we're used to seeing.
It's an Astralis that is currently finding themselves on the back heel, I would say. It's an Astralis that you see in glimmers, you know, what they did against NIP, very dominant performance. You think to yourself, all right, Astralis are back. Then you see them in the first map against FURIA. It seemed to be pretty much under control. They didn't hesitate by anything. You know, they seemed like the old Astralis. All the players were showing up. Glaive had a good game, you know, in terms of calling. Dupree had a great game. So forth. Device was very influential. Then you come into Mirage and you see the same old problems we talked about Astralis having, even when they were the best team in the world. So something tells me that the break that they've had from all these tournaments maybe haven't really been focusing too much on Mirage, because that didn't look too good, and that's going to be a problem for Australis, not only in this tournament, but if we look big picture, long term. If their Mirage is not going to be strong, then you have a Vertigo, you have a Mirage, you have too many maps where Australis can't feel confident on. Nuke is no longer a thought for them, and that's where we're heading now, Maniac. A map they lost twice in a row now.
Yes, I don't really know where to go with this one, honestly. Let's look at silver linings. I think Astralis, obviously, they lost against Furia, and I would argue that it is always easier to play the map when you lost rather than when you won. Exactly. Because I think when you lose a map, you go and you watch the demo and you have a very constructive approach to it. You try and find your mistake, you're looking for details, you see what you did wrong. Whereas, psychologically speaking, when you win, you might have that bias in perspective saying, hey guys, you know what, we did great. Like, yeah, let's just fix this and this, but overall that was a really good map. Yeah. We can just play again and do the same thing, where I don't think that's the case. So if we talk about Australis, dominant for so long, I really hope they have done their homework and they come and give a different version of Nuke. And I choose to believe that they will.
Yeah, I mean, they spoke to Sue earlier, Glaives spoke to Sue after, and they gave her a lovely birthday cake, which was a very nice touch. But he was saying that is what they are good at, right? That's exactly what they pride themselves on as a team, is being able to be extremely critical and being able to sort of almost come out and look at the bigger picture and say, okay, what are we actually doing wrong there?
I agree, but you also have to kill people to win in Counter-Strike. You have to shoot them down. I mean, that's the one silver lining that you can't neglect. I think Astralis right now, they're not looking on top of the game, right? We talked about Magic's Boy when they were in this period, about, being the best team in the world. He was playing hearts out, potentially a top 5 player in the world. Dupree up there as well, doing some sick work with Dentro fracking. Glaive had great games all the time. Device, in the conversation for being potentially the best, maybe the second best player in the world.
Device is up there, huh?
He's up there, but I don't see that right now, right? I don't see an Astralis where all the players are chiming in and being on top of the game. They're playing the C level, the B level, and arguably, it should be enough against a team of Furia's caliber, but we're seeing them on Nuke, right? Very aggressive. If Astralis don't have the answer to that aggression, then Astralis will be the team losing this game. On the other hand, if they can handle that aggression coming out of Furia, I don't believe Furia have anything else to offer against a team like Astralis. So it's going to be a battle in the beginning, and I think whoever gets off to a good start and whoever gets control over the game will most likely also win it. I don't think we're going to see a comeback scenario or anything like that. We know Astralis what they're good for. We know what Furia are good for. We'll just have to see which one is better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know we've already locked in our predictions, and I don't think anybody's going to be changing them, but what are you guys thinking coming into this match, just seeing how Astralis were performing in that last match, Mirage?
I think Jacob summed it pretty well. The first 4 or 5 rounds are going to be decisive. I believe that if Furia can get away with very quick and aggressive rounds, whether it be on the Seedy side or on the T side, then Astralis are going to find themselves in a very dark place, facing elimination, knowing they lost on Nuke against Furia early in the tournament. Whereas on the other side, if they have a good start on the side of Astralis, then I think they will be in control. They will chill the game and they will know what's going to happen. I really expect them to know the gimmicks that Furia is going to throw at them. We will see Art diving into the vent, for example. They do that a lot. We will see them open the door and trying to get fights. But if we know it, then I believe they know it and they will act on it.
I definitely agree. I think the player you have to look out for if you're looking towards Astralis, that's going to be Device. He's a solid Nuke player. He's always rotating around. He's being very mobile with the AWP. And I think he's going to be the key for Astralis, especially on that CT side. That's what we know them for. They can lock down pretty much anyone in the world on the CT side of Nuke. And Device is an instrumental part in that. There's a reason the odds are saying what they're saying right now.
Exactly.
1.34 for Astralis. And I think that's a fair representation. If Furia is going to be able to pull this off, if they're going to be able to beat Astralis not only once, but twice on Nuke, and this time in a best-of-3 series, that'll be one of the biggest upsets that not only Furia have made, but the Brazilian Counter-Strike scene have made against any Danish team in history of Counter-Strike. This is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be closer than people expect, but Astralis are the favorites.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, we're going to head right into our final map of this best-of-3, and we're going to head over to Anders and Henry G.
Can't believe it, Henry. We're here. We've made it to Nuke.
We absolutely have. This is all we wanted, and we've got it.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a great game. Ultimately, Astralis are still the favorites on this map.
Sure.
But you never know. It could turn out a couple of different ways. They did beat them once. 16-14, right?
I feel like Furia have kind of done so well on Nuke that now you've really got to pay attention to them. As Maniac said, if he's aware of what they're doing, Astralis certainly will be as well. And we have got a CT start for the Danes, and they've got 5 sets of Kevlar. No defuse kit. That's the most important factor. If the bomb gets down lower, it's going to be incredibly difficult to retake it. Analyst just mentioned that Furia love a vent dive. Flashbang's very strong indeed. Dupree will get nothing from this. He'll have to fall back as they try and get down the vents. They've managed to get a couple down. Abel J. Art down there with the bomb as well. He's not quite. Just about gets in. But it's the opening kill for Dupree.
Looked like a moment of confusion there as they were stumbling around inside of the smoke. Art, well, that's dangerous. He actually made his way around, then he's back up the ladder and actually into the A-bomb side. Oh, this could get very interesting. It is the sort of double pick on Nuke as well. We don't see that very often. Down at B and then up again through the same vent. They have lost a couple of players. They are definitely not out of the woods yet. Abel J been spotted here. But if he stays alive a couple of more seconds, like any time that he buys, they can't chase him. They actually have to go back and fight now. Australis, they might still be in trouble. Queserado picks up one. You feel they're coming in from every angle, and I don't think he get there in time. There was definitely a chance for them to just stall out this plant for a very long time, but ultimately, it'll be Astralis to pick up that pistol.
Well, there it is. A clean one of that. Remember, they had no kit in that exchange. It was a nice idea from FURIA. They definitely suggested they're going down towards lower. But as soon as Dupree got that first kill, he was there first and ready to shut anything down. He gets that and sends it back towards upper. They read it very well. So he comes back in. At that point, you can see Glaives just getting it done with the USP. Dupree, great round from him. And bring out the SMGs.
I mean, if they don't call off that chase towards Abel J over at Secret, if they sort of really stuck to that, I think that could have been dangerous, like really dangerous, but it's a good job at least.
We have got the force buy here from FURIA. You can see they've got a couple of rifles here and deagles. It's not as strong as what Astralis had or Mirage when they managed to bring out, what, Galils and 2 AKs. And we'll see if this is where the game starts to get very interesting very early on. So I'm not sure if they fired off any bullets just yet with those rifles. You ideally want to just keep them completely silent. See, 30 out of 90. See, Art hasn't fired a single bullet. He won't be going for any spams here. He wants them to think they're just up against pistols, and maybe someone gets a little bit overzealous and will find themselves walking into the crosshair of a Krieg.
That Krieg is just, I mean, the Krieg and the AK. You match that up against, sure, the Organ, the M4, but if it runs into anything else, that would certainly be something. Magisk gonna win that first fight. Sneaking in with the MP5 silenced to get the kill on Yuri. That's a bit annoying for them. Smoke to buy a bit of time. And now to see, are they going to try and explode out? They can certainly smoke off Mini, so a lot fewer things they have to worry about. The flashbangs are here as well. Magisk is low, but that MAC-10 still, I'll show you that MAC-10, the MP9 doing a lot of work there. And it's all on Art, so they never really get a chance to put it into play.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
It's a real shame.
Maps like Nuke, I feel like just a default round with smokes outside would have been the best protocol. Send the pistols in first and try and trade off kills. They just had a very slow round there with a pretty underwhelming finish towards the upper bomb site. Couldn't really utilize the range advantage they kind of had in some facets of the map. But it will be presumably the eco here. But FURIA have invested somewhat into it. P250s pretty much across the board apart from Yuri's deagle. They have smokes outside. This is what I wanted to see in the previous round. Let's see if it works out for them here. They're going to have multiple smokes delivered, and Magisk can hear plenty of players around him. He can jump off and T-red if required. It might be at this point, but they seem to be aware of it. Yuri beneath him, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
there's a kill. Remember, they've got no armor here, so incredibly squishy, but at this point they have got lower control, but will they get a plant down?
I think that one grenade did 99 damage to Yuri or something. It was, I didn't see 2 grenades. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's certainly something.
Got a plant.
Yeah, that's already kind of a success. No reason to get completely crazy with retaking. Might as well get everybody in line. They are maybe being flanked here from the ramp room, so that could get a bit awkward. Now they're making a bit of noise, and surely someone from Australis will have heard that. That's a lot of people waiting for you when you make that jump down. Art here needs a headshot, needs one quick as well. Using a few too many bullets, I think. Now reloading, Yuri's there with the MP5, somehow picking that one up, and now the bomb is really far ticked. It's just a Bree left in a 1 versus 2, and he's going to go down. FURIA stealing the 3rd round away with almost no investment.
Some smokes, some P250s, one deagle, and it's enough. Some way they made it work. I feel like Astralis didn't react quick enough in the sense of they knew there were players towards Secret, and they kept it to a 4-on-4, but no one was there to deny the plan. It was Dupree from ramp trying to pick them off with a SMG at that range. It wasn't really ever going to work out, was it?
There were 3 people coming from the ramp, and once they get the first kill easily on Queserado, he's the one who drops down. They probably just think there can't have been 3 people flanking us, you know? With the bomb down already, like, why would there be 3 people coming ramp this late in the round? So I'm guessing if we review it from their point of view, it'd be interesting to see how many of the Australis players even guessed that there would have been that much of a force behind them.
Well, it's going to be 2-1. Australis still have the lead, and they'll force Bayern to run over 4 here. The Orbit device gives them a strong chance. As Pim mentioned, he's a bit of a nuke specialist, always seems to deliver on this map. Slower round from FURIA this time. They still have a couple of smokes and flashbangs available. There's the outside smokes. You don't have to use them. It just suggests that there's a chance you will. It's going to be the initial exchange with FURIA coming out on top. Vinny and Serato finding those advantages. 4 versus 3 over Orbit device. He hits those all day long. The master of the flick, and a forced team kill as well coming out of Glaives. That's really nice play. Lined them up, did considerable damage, and it's a 3 versus 1. It looks like Australis answered back with a force buy of their own. You can hear the shouting as well. They're really getting stuck into it. Keep your eyes on the bottom left of the screen. You can see how they react when they win these big rounds, and that is a massive one, Anders. That really puts them back in the driving seat here.
Yeah, they won the round. They pick up a second AWP and an AK-47, so exchanging a bunch of what they had as well. That's a big win. FURIA also no bomb plant, so even though Art has a fair bit of cash behind him, I don't know. Because that one round, yeah, see, this is the problem sometimes. If you win one of those odd rounds, sometimes you could almost be tricked into doing it again, you know, a couple more times than you should. They've just picked up the AWP, but FURIA, I would still... Their T-side's so good. I say you don't have to take too many risks here with low money. Whoa. Could wait.
They gotta give it everything they can. Arts with the AWP. Now that's a big call. That's a big man's play.
Yeah. Oh, and actually Vinny just enough as well. They're gonna go for it. This is always my fear when people are successful in the beginning with force buys, is that they sort of want to keep doing it.
Well, it's a double AWP setup now, and this has started to come into fashion more and more recently.
Wow.
It's R with the opening frag, takes down Magisk, and that's why the AWP in that sort of scenario can be very beneficial, the hero AWP, because you just don't expect it. You think they're on eco, surely they won't have the AWP. They'd have to buy one AWP and nothing else, and that's what they've done. It's got the opening pick. Sadly, they can't recover that rifle, but still, that's very beneficial. Yuri outside with the Desert Eagle. It's Glaives, that secondary AWP holding ramp. So Astralis making some adjustments, it seems, on their CD side of Nuke. I most notably noticed that Liquid now run a double AWP on their CT side of Nuke as well. And it definitely has its place in the game. I just feel like in some scenarios it can be weaker. If that bomb does get down the vents very quickly and planted lower, you're going to really struggle to retake it.
Yeah, I think that's probably that's the one situation you want to avoid. Amazingly, they actually have 2 smokes and a couple of flashbangs, so Sip can't actually feel 100% confident here. If he gets flashed, there's no hiding. He's done. So want to be really careful about that. 45 seconds. Lacking armor on 2 of the FURIA players, that could be a big deal, but let's see how this goes. Flashes in, Sip out in the open, and he gets traded. That's great. Up on the hut as well. Serato taking down Dupree, and FURIA.
Yeah.
Those 2 orbs need to be saved here.
That's my point exactly. Personified in this round, because you can't really do anything about this. Great grenade, but they've got no chance of retaking this, although even with rifles it's a 4-on-2, but they can't even be part of the fight. You're locked out from utility if you smoke heaven on the T side. Those Orbers can't really do much at all, especially if they're just outside waiting for a Molotov to go down. And so you can see those vulnerabilities exploited. This was the force buy from FURIA. You weren't that excited about it, but what a round it's turned out to be.
Yeah, I was definitely scared about this one, but they've proven me dead wrong.
Yeah.
So,
well, I like that pick from Art. Like, the analysts were even pointing out before we went into this game, they'd like to focus on those squeaky door picks. He just goes for it. He had a decent spawn, picks that AWP up, nails the shot, and at that point he just waits for the reactions to come through, and FURIA keep 4 players alive. And they came into this 1 rifle, 1 AWP. They leave with 4 rifles, or 3 rifles and 1 AWP. That's a very good outcome for them. And Astralis now in a difficult situation. You're going to have to buy into a round where you have 2 AWPs, right?
Yeah.
But the money's just not there to do it. Dupree will get a max 7, which isn't the worst outcome, I suppose, on Nuke. CZ for Zipex, do they fully invest? Like with the 2 AWPs, I'd say like you might as well go for it. And they will.
Yeah. Man, if this is how the game starts, Henry, you know you're in for something good.
Oh yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Glaives, he could get caught. He's running back, but he's just there in time. I would say he was very close to dead right there. Good shot from the birthday boy. Now CC up close, AWP at range. Coming through the smoke like that, it's going to be able to go down, and this is a great ramp hold already. Don't think Sip's going to make it out alive. I can't believe he's still living. That flashbang actually did a lot, but they did also lose Glaives.
Yeah, that's the more important factor here. 3-on-2 is very recoverable, especially when there's a max 7 in the mix. Over a minute remaining, just over. Arts will smoke out the window room. And Device, he'll make his mark on the round. There's his first kill. And it will be a 3 versus 1 for the sniper of FURIA.
Yeah, now's the time for Art, isn't it, to make a bit of a highlight reel. He's going to be creeping in. But
I felt like he was going to no-scope that.
yeah, it was right on the edge. I wonder, does Device, does he see something? Is it the radar that gives it away?
I think he just had a gap there. Like, it wasn't like a lined-up smoke from FURIA. Right. It was just like, I'll just smoke window. There must have been a slight gap from his POV, I would imagine. It was too much of a precise shot. His Glaive. Speaking of precision, Zipex, you're right. The fact he stayed alive for so long was pretty impressive. There's the gap. There you go.
Yeah, we see it. Great observing.
Yeah, we got the world's best of us.
We do.
Sliggy in the house.
Just doing everything all at once. Art does get stopped a little bit. There's that max 7, and you know, is it ode to JW, I guess?
Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe a sword off would be better.
That would be the genuine version, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
The real tribute. You know, you can sit on top of the door frame that you're standing next to right here, Henry.
I have seen that before, never in practice.
Like all the way up. It's not even the door frame, it's the window you're sitting on.
Sure.
So if somebody comes in from ramp,
you can
guarantee you they'll never check that.
Do you have the boost, or can you jump up?
No,
there?
you can jump there yourself.
That's cool.
Little thing. We asked about theory crafting.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the video? That's what I'm asking.
Well, it's right here. That was it. Literally 5 seconds.
Okay.
There we go.
Clip
done.
the VOD, and we'll just put it on Anders' YouTube channel.
Yeah, all that. Just get it done. Oh, Max 7 stuff here. Timing. Yeah, he's going to spot out Vinny, and he's absolutely gone. Good flank around. Running and gunning with the Mac 10. It's how it's meant to be. In case Serrato will come with 2 big kills there.
Mage is dropping down, couldn't quite stabilize in time for the swing from the Mac 10. Bomb planted, Zipex doesn't want to challenge just yet, but it will now. It's cost him his life. He had a chance to actually deny that, I think. Device left in a 2 versus 1. No kit available. The desperate wallbang's coming in, and you can see the orb. Once that bomb's planted, that's when it starts to drop off. As we go 4-3. FURIA looking to tie things up as the money's broken.
Yeah, and I think 4 kills at the end for K Serrato, so...
And he started with Mac 10.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Mac 10 definitely, like, I feel like the MP9 and Mac 10 are criminally underrated. Like, if you look at them pound for pound and the impact they can have on rounds with the mobility and the money that can be farmed, like, it is those are 2 of the best guns in the game just for how little they cost.
I mean, you see it right there with sort of the flanking, circling around hot while shooting. It's just, that's pretty effective. Grenade does a fair bit. Oh, and Glaive giving up his position. There's so many bullets, but he does make it out. That could have ended badly. Oh, Device, how does he... He takes a fight inside of a Molotov against K Serrato and barely lives.
He's got 16 HP, and it's up to Dupree now. This investment from Astralis, it's a scary one, but they might have done enough here. Art will answer back, though. Finds Glaive. Molotov towards the double doors. Very common position for CTs to sit at the bottom of those steps and try and get the drop on the terrorists to come around the corner, so that just flushes them out.
Omega's position is making me really nervous.
It's such a horrible setup in those vents now. I really don't like it in there.
Yeah. I would rather not be in that position, but looks like he's found his way out. Nice find. Nice patience out of FURIA. But that's the bomb with 45 seconds. They're going to be smoking off here, and Omegas, can he make it out of the vent? It's kind of critical that he does, but they're up on the high ground too. I can understand why FURIA want to try and take this A-bomb side. They've got all the right positions for it. They just need to go. That smoke is about to fade, and that could really be a big problem.
3-on-3, time ticking away, and Device is in a prime position, but he doesn't want to use the scope just yet, trying to stay silent, trying to keep his eye on everything possible. Oh, Magus has timed it so well. Device now has the scope. He needs that vision. I think Art's got him. And indeed he has. Very good awareness there. This was the force from Australis now. Can we bring the cash up, see where they sit? Thank you very much. Yeah, fully invested. And they only have...
What? Why did they kill Vinny?
Just for fun.
That's horrible. That's not funny, Henry. That's...
I didn't say funny. I said fun.
Well...
You know? Just asserting your dominance on the server.
Just actually a display for Australis saying, listen, we can even shoot our own.
We'll give you a hand. We'll shoot our own team for no reason. Let's go.
Can we get the replay on that? What's
Can you
going
stop
on?
requesting replays?
No,
it's like the boy who cried wolf at this point. They just like think Anders was wants a replay of every situation.
all of them. It's the fact that
Like,
we can.
the team kill
Henry.
happened. It had no impact on the round. I don't think we need to make a replay.
But maybe we learned something about what's going
They
on.
just
here.
accidentally shot each other. That is it.
How you?
Okay, make the replay.
Listen, Henry.
We'll call this his last one.
Okay.
If he screws it up,
Okay, he was so wired. He was so ready.
like I said, there's an accidental kill.
I said, yeah, but what if it had been like a determined one? What if he just shot him right in the back?
Okay, so he just turned around and said, you know what? Took him down.
We learned a lot then. I was worried because they had 14 seconds when they had to take that fight against Device in the squeak door, and if he'd have got one of those shots and delayed the bomb plant, that would not have been good. But FURIA, I mean, they're once again showing us they're such an exciting team to watch.
This is huge. Like, this is the third map. We said if they got here, like, there's a real chance they could close this 1 hour. And Astralis, this would be just a nightmare for them. Like,
I still want to maintain they could have won Inferno. I mean, they could have actually been 2. I would say it's been not super likely, but FURIA really made it back at the end. They maybe could have done it. Art did get double grenaded, so he's not exactly thrilled about that situation. And they have a couple of people down secret. And all Astralis have here are the AK-47 there on Dupree and a lot of CCs. They're not really giving up the fight here on the Danish side. They want to keep going.
1 minute remains. Dupree, AK-47. It's Glaives with the CZ. A lot of intel gathered from the sound cues. We will see if he can do anything with it. Now the problem is he's kind of lost track of them. He doesn't know if they're coming behind him. You can see those seeds of doubt in his mind right now. I'm not sure which angle to check, and they could actually come in together here. His teammate will go down first, and Glaives just waiting for his opportunity. He's going to get it. Oh, there was almost a double there. He can still find 2. Not going to happen, but that was about what he was worth.
But Dupree, look at the timing.
Oh, the AK. If Device can like swing out now, get some aggro for it. Oh, need to be a clean kill, but still a fighting chance here, Australis. It is going to be a 2 versus 1. Make it a clean 1-on-1 now. Art's low, but he nails these shots all day long. Flashbang from Dupree. He just needs 1 bullet in his direction, but Art, he gives him the chance, and there it is. That's massive. It was looking like an absolute nightmare of a setup there. The AK-47 safe in the previous round. CZs as well, and Dupree delivers 3 kills. You can see these boys are invested in this game. It's a big tournament for them. A lot of conversation around Astralis right now as an organization and the team, and this would be a massive win for them. They've been truly tested here by FURIA. Really fantastic series so far.
Yeah, I think just rebooting a PC now, and then they should be ready to go pretty quickly, but I can't believe that all of the first 9 rounds in this game have been this tense, like very close. Nobody's really saving. They just want to fight for everything, and they're trading rounds more or less. It's madness right from the get-go.
Yeah,
FURIA have really almost no money here, Henry. Are they gonna really do it again?
I'm really enjoying this first half. This is the first half. There's a lot more to come, and FURIA, you can see that they're feeling the pressure now as well. They've won some really exciting rounds with MAC-10s and pistols and all that, but now they're receiving a taste of their own medicine. Like, it doesn't taste quite as good.
No.
And Astralis come back with CZs. That 1 AK. Dupree saves the day there. Comes down to that really tense 1-on-1 clutch as well. That was so cool. Watching who would blink first. And Art took his shot, missed it, and that was it. The round was that as soon as he missed that shot, Dupree knew he had him. The call was already there. He was low HP. Just had to land 1 bullet, and he nailed it.
Yeah. And Art didn't really have a choice because the bomb was on Dupree's side of Mini. So, like, he would have to come through that no matter what. So, that's a bit rough. Yeah, what a way to get this final map started. I think, the pimp on the desk was saying, if they win this FURIA, that might be one of the biggest upsets of all time, probably. Like, it's just so ridiculous.
Just the context of the tournament right now and the fact they're in the lower bracket already, I would absolutely agree. This would be one of the biggest upsets of the year, I'd say. Yeah. I wouldn't go as far to say it's
maybe
all-time.
Not all-time.
It's like it's not a major or anything like that.
I think he did say from a Brazilian team against the Danish team, so he did sort of like bracket it like that. But fair enough.
I know what you mean. So
I
was just kind of reaffirming so everyone doesn't get
it.
confused at home. I'm not calling pimp out of the thing.
No, but I guess I was misquoting him. But still, I mean, it would be crazy. Just again, considering the pedigree of Astralis, even even if sort of Liquid overtook them in the points or whatever. But I still think that There's really no messing around, and FURIA are such a new team.
Well, that's the most fascinating. They're one of the youngest teams ever assembled as well. They're all, I think their average age is like something like 20, 21 or something like that. Like, that just goes to show you, this is, until this year, but these players were active, right? But they weren't on our radar. Like, we'd heard of some of the players, right? But this squad in its current iteration and the way they're playing right now, like, no one saw this coming in 2019.
No.
Like, no one would have said, like, oh, this is going to be a serious team to watch out for. They're going to be challenging Astralis and potentially knocking them out of the tournament in the best of 3 in a couple of months. Watch out for that. Like, that's what I love about CS, is like, it's such a massive game now that these teams come out of the woodwork every now and then. Like, occasionally you get like some star players that we saw Obo playing earlier, right? And he's just nuts, like, looks amazing, like 15 years old. But when you get a team of youngsters that have kind of done this on their own back, they've kind of put this team together, they have shown they can grind, they can play on the online leagues, they can have the odd best of 1 upset, but now they've got one of the world's best on the ropes, and they're looking like they could actually take this 3rd map. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's inspirational even. I think, you know, for all the people out there that are, you know, in that age bracket, like even like 17, 18, 19, you think like, oh, you know, if we really pull it together, if we get the right, you know, group of friends together, if we start something cool now, then like in a couple of years, it could really happen. I mean, the road to getting there is different, definitely, than it has been. And it's great to see. I love it. I hope we see many more of these teams happening in the future. And I think they are just doing the match medic restore thing, and then we should be pretty much good to go.
I was enjoying our chat, Anders. I was hoping this delay would go on a little bit longer.
You still always an answer about that whole lottery thing, Henry. We still haven't cleared that up, and it's really, now I'm starting to feel like you're just dodging the question, you know?
I kind of am. I was really hoping you wouldn't bring that back
up.
No,
we'll keep it.
Well, okay, what would you do with it? What would be your the thing is, you would have some really, you've probably got this in your mind already, some really strange response, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hold on. So you're saying, so I'm trying to press you for an answer. You just bring it back on me.
That's
just
the best way to do things. You answer a question.
Okay, well, I'd probably buy an electron microscope. They cost like about 100k or something. So
is it really 100k?
Yeah, like the ones
I know what you mean. I've watched a YouTube video on them before. They are crazy, but what would you do with it exactly?
Just
I guess you're a millionaire. 100k is just a drop in the bucket, right? So it doesn't really matter. So
I would just look at things. Everything.
Just look at
everything
things.
Is amazing under electron microscope.
YouTube the things you want to look at and just full screen it.
No, it's not the same.
Not the same. Why?
It's different.
They would know what they're doing and can explain it to you instead of you going, "Oh, that's a thing."
No, but I would learn myself. I would spend all day.
What, you don't know how to analyze microscopes? I would assume.
Yeah, but I would learn that. No, I'd have spent time. I used to study biology. It's not an electron microscope, but I know how they work. It's fine.
All right.
I would do that.
Take it all back.
That would be my pick.
I support you.
No yachts, no Lamborghinis.
Okay, so you don't have any plans or any sort of investments. You're just like, this is the thing I want. So that's more your question. What one thing? I think we should kind of make the question a little bit smaller. Let's say, what is the first thing you would buy if you became a millionaire, right?
Yes.
So you go with the electronic microscope.
Yeah, and I retreat into my room, never to be seen again.
I live quite a simple life. I just need a gaming PC and cool clothes. That's pretty much all I want. Like, I don't like expensive clothes. I just like clothes I like. I'm trying to think of what I would buy. Like,
see, I'm not passing any judgment, but this is the thing that happens all the time.
I'm trying to think of like the things I've been wanting recently. You know, like.
And it's nothing. You're just happy.
I think this just goes to set off by my character, what a humble person I am. Like, all I need is a bit of Counter-Strike in my life.
The thing is, though, if you have to call yourself humble, that generally is not that's not a good sign.
Oh,
you know?
Trust me. Like, there's a lot of character flaws going on over here. It's not an ideal setup.
I'll tell you this. This happens a lot in Denmark. Whenever somebody wins the lottery, and usually people stay hidden about it, which I think is a good idea. You definitely should. But some people come out and say, yeah, we won, a lot of money. And then they get interviewed, of course, and they ask, like, so what do you want to buy? And invariably, it's some couple who's like sort of past 50, and all they want is like to change their kitchen cabinets, and everyone watching is like, what on earth are you talking about?
That's the thing is, I don't know what I would say. Like, you've put me in the spot like twice. I've even said I'll come back to you, and I was like, I even know, like, most like, do I want a cool car? Not really. Like, I live in London or Malta, so I can't use that. Do I want a house? I've already got one. I'm pretty happy living by myself. Don't need a massive
You could give
place.
it away to a cause. I mean, some of it.
Oh yeah, I could have said that. It looked really nice.
Yeah, you could have.
I could have said that. Yeah, maybe I'll give half of it. Oh no, I'll tell you what I'd do. I've got it. I would run my own CS tournament, and it would just be. It would be like the craziest, most over the top affair. I was about to swear then. I had to hold myself in.
Outrageous. On a boat? With satellite internet?
On a cruise ship. I'm going to bring that idea back.
We've tried it. There's been so
much.
and
I'm going to do it properly. I'll buy my own cruise ship, and I'll put it land on there.
Bring your scoots.
And I'll say like $5 million for first place prize. Really get everyone going.
Well, here we go. That's I think a great deal. I'm glad we waited for it, Henry.
Yeah.
That's a good pick at the end. It took a little while to get there. Now we're back in the game as well. That took a while too, but it's Device to pick up Art. And again, FURIA really had no money, but what little they had, they spent here. Which is kind of, it's par for the course for this game right now. Nobody has been saving. They've been fighting every single round. And we're only in round number 10 as well. Trying to run down Sip, but he does so much damage to Device. Oh, okay, he's got backup as well. 3 men at the ramp, so if they'd actually tried to push that, I think they would have lost that fight. It is a 3-on-3. Pretty good Molotov to counter that, and that's a lethal position right now that Makers is in up there. Glaive will take down Vinny. I don't think they'll be winning this round here, FURIA, unless there's a big mistake.
I think that's a fair call. With the low HP of Yuri, Serato with the Desert Eagle, he has got Kevlar. It would surprise me if they won. It's not saying it's impossible or out of reach.
He's got the bomb.
Excellent player, and he has got the bomb, but there is a player right above him. You're not going to check that. You feel like you've got your opportunity to plant low. You're just going to take it. There's too many angles to check if you want to check every single position, you know, right? You just got to take a deep breath sometimes and go for it.
Yeah, it's also if you spend time checking, you actually throw away the advantage you had.
That's my point, right? Like, if you feel like there's an opening there, a lot of CS is like, a lot of it's about gut feelings and like kind of listening to communications. Your teammates are giving you some cues, maybe even a reload sound, something like that, and it's just taking gut feelings, you know, and knowing the game and playing it enough and knowing what people usually do and how they react to things. And sure, you can't necessarily base it on a whole lot, but you just feel like, okay, if this was me, I'd feel like I'd be in this position. I'll go for this, you know. But here it is, a full eco, so we don't really have to cast this one properly. I mean, you can do whatever you like with this if you like.
We do. I mean, we did talk a lot about doing like ASMR. You want to? Is now the time for
and the thing is, like we said, neither of us. I've never watched an ASMR video in my life. I know what it is, and I've seen a clip of it potentially, like on Reddit or something. But I've never sat down and watched one and know what they do to really kind of have fun with that idea.
I know some people are hugely into it.
I know, like I've seen honeycombs on there sometimes, like eating a honeycomb. They eat it. I was like, who wants to listen to someone eat? Like, for God's sake, that sounds awful. But maybe I should listen to it and find out.
We could do that. Maybe there could be like an esports or a Counter-Strike version of ASMR.
Well, they kind of do that with the sounds of CS, basically, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the version we're looking for.
So actually, maybe if we don't say anything, that would be Counter-Strike ASMR. You're just listening to gunfire, just listening to explosions, that kind of thing.
Or all we have to do is whisper. That's part of it as well. We could just whisper. Like, these microphones are pretty good. Like, okay. Astralis is going to be up 7-4. 3 rounds in a row. And now the 4-buy from FURIA will be coming in. How's that?
It's wonderful, Henry.
Yeah,
I
like
think
that. You look stunned.
Yeah,
like,
I was into it. I think
maybe a thing, maybe a market for it, maybe a side stream, the ASMR stream.
I think that could absolutely
premium
happen.
members.
Yeah, a lot of you probably might overdo the mainstream actually.
Just do the mainstream and then the real casting on the premium stream.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That's a good idea.
I'll speak to management after this. See if we can get it for the final or something.
I mean, if you patent it right now, nobody else has ever done esports ASMR.
Well, that could be the selling point of the cruise ship, you know?
Yeah, a little bit of that on top.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea. We're putting it all together, step by step, you know, so it's work in progress. So that's the freedom of doing startups, I guess, you know, you could still change everything around. It's
exactly.
Good. Well, 7-4, and that was the first time in that last round where somebody saved, and actually saved. And it was FURIA that was sort of forced to. Now I'm getting worried, though. 7-4 is actually a pretty good scoreline for Australis. I still think this T side for FURIA is amazing on Nuke, so I kind of would have wanted them to do a bit more. It's not done yet, but I'm starting to get worried because if Australis start to really pick up money and make... Oh, what a headshot from Vinny. Forget everything I said. That was beautiful.
That was really good. And no scope either. Gets caught with a nade out, and you've got to be very careful with your advantages when you're playing against Australis. They will pounce on you. And it will be the 4 versus 3 in favor of the Danes. One player sneaking down towards the vents.
He's got the bomb.
Has he really? You're right. It's going to be Serato down there.
But there is also... Who's that? Sip, I think, is sort of spotting it out. So if he can win the fight against Sip, that's a bomb plant with the rest stuck on the other side of the map. Abel J making his way down. That's not such a bad idea. Serato saying, I really need help for this bomb side. And now they're leaving Yuri as the potential flanker. Oh, but he's going to get caught. That's a huge kill for Sip. That means no flank, both players downstairs, and I think they probably know that by now. So 3 versus 2 for the retake here. I think a lot rides on this, Henry. Let's see how they do.
Oh, it's looking decent now for FURIA. They've got a 2-on-2. bombs down, but there is 2 incendiaries available for the CTs here. First one very successful. Serato plays it well, though he's not panicking. He gets himself in a smart position. They would assume that was clear, and it's going to cost him the round. I love that. A lot of players in Serato's position will make a lot of noise, knife out, try and jump out of that. He just gets himself to the absolute edge of the fire, doesn't make any noise, doesn't panic, doesn't take a huge amount of damage, and waits for them to walk into his crosshair. The pressure's on them. They've got to get to that bomb. He just needs to find 1 kill, and he gets it. His teammate follows it up, and that's really fantastic work.
Yeah, and because he didn't panic, they actually had to extend to the point where they were visible to the window, and that's how they got killed. So it's even better. It's amazing. 7-5, that was a massive 2 versus 3 for them to be winning here, Furia.
Yeah, I agree. 7-5. Remember, T-side of Nuke, 5-6 rounds is actually a pretty positive half. Like these days, although we are seeing a lot more T-side victories the last month or so, I think that's due to the fact that we're having to play the map more because Vertigo's come in and people are shying away from that.
Yeah.
It's Glaives who will be opening things up. Device to follow it. Wow. Looks like he's got a couple. And Dupree, easy kill from available, but pulls out the flashbang first. That's enabled Abel J to get down towards lower with the bomb. So I feel like they've got a plant here. Maybe not. 1 bullet required from Zipex. He lands it. And that's going to be round 8-5. Yuri, not really much you can do with this. Lost Bone is pretty decent for them. We'll see whether this is going to be enough.
Think of how gut-wrenching this is for Furia, though. Because look at the money for Australis, though. If they won that 2 versus 3, if they win this round 2, Australis are probably, you know, economically, well, they're broken, right? And then you could actually bounce from like, you know, 5 to maybe like 6 or 7 rounds even. So this 1 round really has, it would have had a lot to say for Furia if they could have picked it up. Dupree with a good shot there. Device, those 2 AWP kills were pretty good as well. 8-5.
Damn, I take it back. The lost bonus wasn't there. I miscalculated. They're going to get 1900 after the round victory they had. Device, great work. Did enough. They win the round. It's 8-5 overall. I feel like Furia pretty much have to take an eco here with about, what, 2.5 grand they have per player. So some very light investment apart from Art, who's really pushed the envelope here. He's gone for a scout armor. Is that, like, Anders, like, being real? Like, unless your teammates are fully investing as well, like, you're not necessarily a sniper on T-side of Nuke, but, like, what are you really hoping to crack open with this scout right now? Sure, he's a great sniper. He can definitely find a kill, but I just don't think it justifies the investment he's had to make.
No,
so we'll see.
I think this is more a sort of a hold my beer type situation.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's fair.
Okay, Serato goes down. They're trying to create a little bit of space, maybe for that scout to be put into play, but
he'll have to save that scout, really.
That never feels good. You say those words, you're not happy.
He gets $2,400 next round as my point, so he can't even afford scout armor in the next round. So, yeah, that's really not ideal. That's they might be able to get a bit more out of it, I'm not sure. But now that you can see, Art's money, $2,500, all of his teammates can buy. Sure, you can still win a round with 4 AKs, but surely just give yourself the maximum chance possible. That's the way I always look at things. It'll be round 15. They could have a Mac 10 player in the form of Arts, and we've seen him do great work with the Mac 10, so we'll see how that pans out. But that round will be one they want to forget, to be honest. Purchase your Deagle, boys. Get your kits out. Your incendiaries, last round. Disappointing to see Dupree, $500 there. Get yourself a 5-7, son. Come on.
Man, if we went back and reviewed this first half, we could come up with a bunch of scenarios in which Furia, I think, ended like 8-9 rounds even on, like, maybe they've had so many options that just barely broke the economy of Australis. Rounds they sort of almost could have won. There are definitely a lot of options. Let's see if they get number 6 though. They did get the return kill there on Device. Huge for Vinny. Now opening up in Mini. It's going to be Megas behind the bomb site itself and just kind of waiting down here by the reactor silo. We'll see. Megas, they're so close. He's going to get run down. How did he not have more backup? Where's everybody else? Why did they leave him alone?
Oh, this is actually looking very promising now. Dupree will try and pick up the pieces. Mac 10 does find a kill, so Art's absolutely fine with that. Now has York.
Some good Molotovs here on Astralis, though.
Yes, but where do they deploy them? Putting them directly beneath them doesn't help out too much. They're the ones who got to drop down. So they're going to throw one towards the hut. At least that removes that threat, and they can focus more on the bomb site now. Flashbang comes through. Lovely work here, but it's Vinny and Art now Beneath and towards CT Ben. It looks like Furia has done enough. The 6th round will be coming in. We have got one hell of a finish here lined up. It's 9-6. Furia will swap over to the CT side. We're going to go to full distance here again. You don't want to miss it. Come back after this break.
Would you rather stay? I watch you be enslaved.
Any player within the game and even the ECS official observer. Subscribers will have access to interactive HUD, detailed statistics on all players and an improved minimap and much more. All Faceit TV Twitch subscribers will receive full access to 11 additional streams for the ultimate CS viewing experience. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now for only $4.99 and watch CS the way you want to.
Would you rather stay? I watch you be and slowly walk away. I would rather leave. I'll take your heart and wipe it off your sleeve.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what has been really a wonderful evening so far here. Astralis and FURIA in a best of 3 to decide who gets to go on and who gets to go home. And for FURIA, kind of a long road home, and they've really fought to make sure they're going to be able to stay here. 9-6 in the first half. I mean, that's a pretty open game. I wanted FURIA to get just a little bit more.
Well, we have the 3rd map of the trilogy here, and
yes.
And you know what? I'm so excited for this one. I have no idea who's going to win. Sure, it's 9-6 right now, but Astralis switch over to the T side, sorry. And they've got themselves a couple of smokes, a Molotov. Smoke number 1 has been deployed. 2nd one still up for them. So they make their way towards outside bravely. I assume they're saving that 2nd smoke for the plant towards lower. Could go for double doors. The decon seems to be the default option these days. Bomb actually does go double doors. So will they be able to smoke the side itself? It'll be Abel J to try and slow them down by smoking window. Thing is,
where did the smoke go?
He threw it, right?
Yeah, he did.
It must have landed in shadow, I assume, maybe? I don't know. Interesting. They've got the first kill regardless. And here's Magisk trying to answer back and get them some kills going in their favor, but it's not working out. Astralis will have to go back towards upper. Not a bad call. But they get this kill towards Squeaky. They're right back in the round. Look at the HP as well. Vinny, Art, and Abel J. They're walking wounded right now. They really are going to struggle.
Yeah, they are. They need to win this round, though. If Astralis win it, that's a really big problem. They're on the CT side as well. Need that money to start the whole thing with, and they're not going to be ready. Device have been waiting to see if there's going to be one more. Smart play. The rest of them are all upper, and there are going to be some guns trained here. And you're right, the low health is exactly what does them in. Magisk with the triple. I must know where that smoke went. Did it like disappear in the frame of the window or something? I can't explain it.
I think it just went to shadow. We just couldn't see it from the angle we were looking at. That's all I can really think of it. Like it bounced a bit awkwardly off the wall and went too far. But even then, it seems like that's a bit far-fetched. I don't know. It just seemed like it disappeared. Like,
yeah.
We saw him throw it. It was removed from his utility. I don't know. It'll be a mystery.
Definitely developing some kind of paranoia. Henry, can I get the replay?
I mean, do you know what? Maybe that's a replay we need. Like, if I'm confused as well, then we probably need it. Oh, I love that flash. That's beautiful. They're going to go for an upper commitment here, but the looks of things, you don't have to go in all that. Then you go for the tightest choke point on the map. So need to be careful.
The Molotov almost burned Quesarado to death. Yeah, I think he didn't realize he was flashed.
Yeah, the flash and Molotov combo is brutal. You know?
Where did Magus die? That was through a wall.
He died.
Well, this is the bane of watching Nuke, isn't it? That there's just so much happening at all times. It's a little bit hard to catch everything. Quesarado going to be going down to device, and now it's a 3 versus 4. So looking good for FURIA initially, but now they might be in a little bit of trouble. Grenade on the bomb planter would certainly help out. Glaive wouldn't die from it. Yeah, and it goes a little bit on the wrong side. It's a good idea. I like it anyway.
Yeah, indeed. Not really a chance of winning as soon as the bomb goes down in these sort of rounds. Yeah, you're kind of out of luck, and the money will be low with FURIA considering they force board into this one. You can see they're pretty much invested across the board, apart from Arts, who still has 1,500. So he'll be aiming for the orb as soon as possible. But Vinny, I feel like he has 1 kill here. That's decent.
Yeah.
Keep them modest. They won't be defusing. Oh, wait, hold on. It's a 3-on-1 now. They actually have a chance of winning this. Oh, they've done it, I think. And as if actually pulled it off.
A couple of seconds left, and he's got the wrong angle.
Oh,
unbelievable.
God, that was looking like such a lock-in.
Wow.
I can't believe that. That's insane. And that just goes to show you, like, when we say those statements like, oh, this should be round, should be done, is just like something remarkable just happened. So it was towards Silo, the initial kill. Nice work from Art there, and then they start going down one by one. I didn't like the initial approach, to be honest. The focus towards Squeaky Door, like, sure, there was nice flashbangs and Molotovs thrown, but I feel like let's use the range advantage, right? We just won the pistol. Let's go outside. Let's use these rifles and just play the round in a default way. Like, I love the execution. It looked cool. Let's save that. But against CZs, when we know FURIA love a force buy, that was dangerous to begin with. But that wasn't even the problem. It was when they got down towards lower. They were losing picks outside. They weren't ready together. So 2 players out, 3 trying to get down the vents, and they got a plant. But they take a tactical timeout on the Astralis side. They will force buy back themselves. Like I said at halftime, I think this game will go the full distance. Like, I'm not sure who's going to win it. I couldn't really give you much more than a guess right now. I would say after that round, FURIA definitely have a shout in it. If they get this round, that should tie us up, to be honest. We'll be knocking on the door of 10-10, and then on the CT side, so you might lean towards them.
Yeah, this is big news. Winning it back. Grenade, they're going to put a little bit of a hold to them. They couldn't really easily chase him down, and that's good enough. It means he can fall back and stay safe.
Well, we talked about the ramp roll yesterday. Anyone who didn't hear that, like, that's how you play it. Like, you want to get the information. Going for 1 kill and dying, that's actually a loss on the CT side. That's like you giving the ramp up, and you've given them a trade, and a 4-on-4 will always favor the T side on most maps. I won't go through all the examples right now, but that's a general rule of thumb you can live by. So playing ramp room, you're normally by yourself in most rounds, unless you're going to change things up. If you go down with nothing, that's a real problem. So well played to get out of that. Sure, you give them a bit of access, but it's not a bomb site. It's okay just to let them have it. And they'll reposition towards outside. They're going to lose the first player here. Yuri striking towards Glaive. That's enough. Doesn't have to overcommit. Got them the advantage. Stay alive at this point.
And clock's running down, and Art there covering the other line outside here of the yard. So now they're going to be in a great position. The bomb making its way in towards the lobby. I think they probably wanted to get down secret so they could use the fact that they had ramp to sort of have a really quick crush on that lower bomb site. But the fact that they got shot down outside means that wasn't really possible. So now they've probably switched into a different scenario, trying to get in towards the A bomb site and maybe do that, and none of it is working out. So Sip here with the bomb. He's got 19 seconds, and there is someone in decon, so it's going to be very rough. He actually gets the headshot, but it doesn't matter. Quesarado will take him down. FURIA finding another round, 10-8. He's got that little sorry spray on the... I feel like sprays, they weren't all that I was hoping for in this game, Henry.
Yeah, they never really caught on, did they?
I want to be able to upload my own customs, right?
Well, that's why we had problems.
It's dangerous, I know.
In Source, we had those, and it really did lead to some complications at tournaments. Some things you wouldn't want to see on the internet being brought into the server.
Give me an example.
Just like certain parts of the anatomy, like mainly genitalia, would be brought out a lot, or certain acts being performed on people. That sort of thing. That's probably enough to kind of give you an idea.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we could clear that up, Henry.
One cool thing you could do is that you could upload your team logo. Yeah. You could spray like your team's or your fans, whatever, logo all over the map. That was pretty cool.
That was a good time. I mean, I remember in 1.6, people would sometimes, they would spray like the outline of a model. So sometimes you'd be shooting the wall and it looked like there was sort of a player.
Oh, that was one thing you do as well. You could, like, there was this one spray you could download that, like, put a CT model, like, the exact size on the wall somewhere. So you'd, like, imagine Mid or Mirage. You could spray it on the back wall and people start pre-firing.
The other one was, you know, especially we were playing on, like, a public server in 1.6. I mean, people were a lot dumber, I guess, back then. But you could spray, like, a ladder on the wall. So some people just jumping, trying to get up. That's
an interesting one. I never saw that.
Well,
that was a full eco, just so no one gets upset. We know it's a done deal. We'll talk over those. 10-9, FURIA will have the AWP. Remember, Arts was really saving up for that in the early sectors of the game. He now is fully online. It's round 20, and like I said, I feel like a 10-10 scoreline is very likely. Glaives will work outside. Most in-game leaders are given this role. Try to get the intel, work out what's going on. Just trying to bait out a few nades from Glaives spam. And here comes the actual commitment. That first smoke to block vision as they cross over to T-Red. And then the second two allow them to get towards Secret, but fly in the ointment, Anders. Art is there, but for once, FURIA are showing some discipline in terms of their decision-making. Like, I'm not disrespect them anywhere. Like, that's their place. That works so well for them. And you'd expect Art to maybe take a bit of a challenge there. Device always does, but he holds back. Realizes he's by himself, I think, and just wants to make sure he has a retreat plan. As Yuri holds aircon here. Gives up the first couple of shots and repositions. Good to do so.
Oh, this is so weird because Art heard them stepping as well, so I don't know. I feel like Astralis now are actually second-guessing a little bit too much. That is a big kill there, taking down Abel J, but we're down to 38 seconds. They really need to move. Art right here on the limit, and he's going to be flashed back. They must have heard that step, so that's going to give them a little bit of info here, Astralis. They know at least where one player is, and they probably know that there must be a second around heaven or hell here. 23 seconds as they try and make their way in. This is a huge round for both teams. Glaive goes down. Dupree, he's snuck up on the high ground. He could open all of this up, and Vinny out of it. Now just waiting, stopping anyone from coming out as well. But that's the bomb with 10 seconds, and it's going to be Megas to pick it up. Yuri waiting, he gets one more.
Easy to get out. He's done it. That is massive.
That's
get
it.
out. Get out.
He has to run, yeah. That's absolutely fine. What a way to end it.
Oh, my goodness. I love it. What a game this is turning out to be, Anders. It looked like Dupree getting up towards heaven. It was enough. They had no idea. He gets 2 kills, but one player in the hut denies the plan getting through that really tight, difficult choke point. And at that stage, it was just a matter of beating the clock, and Australis tried to recover the bomb. They just had it. He could have got out, but another player waiting for him. Drops it, gets out. Really well done from FURIA. And Australis, that money has been broken. This is a chance for FURIA to take the lead now. On their CT side, 4 rounds in a row. And it's going to be Astralis actually fully investing in this, just to know. They've really gone for this round. They're going to drop one down the vent. Dupree. He has not got the bomb, but he is going very fast with the only AK they have.
And Art, he must have heard some steps, but it could be a little bit tricky to figure out where those are coming from. So we'll see. I thought maybe Dupree was just going to continue, because sometimes if you get this forward position and you just keep sort of running for a while, you can actually just completely catch someone who's rotating back to look for you off guard. But he's still down there, maneuvering about. Yeah, FURIA, if they've got them right on the limit, if they can win this round, that's huge. Really doing a good job. I can't believe they won that last round. The bomb, it fell into hut, right?
That's when you know it's a good game, when those sort of rounds are coming through.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just down to the minutiae. I really enjoy it. Less than a minute now. Astralis with decent lower control, but
oh no,
what do they do with this?
Well, look at Art. Abel J is the one at ramp. He's the only one to help him out.
Yeah.
If they come out this window, oh yeah, and they shoot it out. So that's a cue for Abel J. But he's not really got many grenades or anything.
Oh, he's done for.
Missed chance here. Abel J also looking the wrong way. Molotov to force him back. This is looking very good. Art, if he gets a kill right now, even that would be big.
Oh, maybe not. Abel J does get 2 in return. Bomb to be planted. That's not going to be an issue, but still the manpower.
They have a lot of smokes for the retake. Vinny showing up. Great kill. Great follow-up here. Almost taking down Megas, but he takes him through the door instead. And he does get shut down. Now all on Sip with the... Well, he's going to pick up a rifle here, I guess. Still, they have so many smokes. They've put down a couple of them. I'm not sure this is easy, and they're waiting for him. So smart. Abel J with a quad kill, and FURIA now in the lead here on the third map with 11-10.
Anders, we've got a smoke replay if you want it.
Oh yes, please. I've been dying of curiosity.
Okay, so the smoke, it went towards Shadow. There it is, down there.
But what did it bounce on?
Just one of the walls.
No.
Okay, guys, we need a new replay. He's not happy at that one.
I'm not happy. I want
maybe don't invite Anders back again. It's actually more of an issue.
Yeah.
In general, a lot of man hours go into having you here.
Yeah.
a lot of resources brought in.
Let's not invite Anders to the next event. It's actually unbearable.
We're getting to the next round, and we'll see 11-10. Like we said, FURIA taking the lead, and it's a ramp rush from Astralis. They'll do what they can. They've got to battle through the smoke. Abel J looking for his third. Oh my goodness, he's got all four. The bomb goes down in Glaives. They've been shut down here. Nothing in response. A desperate ramp rush through the smoke. And there it is, FURIA. They've knocked him down to another eco. They're in touching distance of knocking Astralis out of the tournament. Third map. This is absolutely wild.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The flashbang worked well on the first player, and that delayed the rest enough. Really, really well done. 12-10.
You don't see many ramp rushes like that anymore. All 5 players ready to go. Put their life on the line, get stuck in. You got to respect the Australis for just committing to that. A lot of teams would start falling back and letting their teammates go. All 5 just went in and were hoping they would find an access point. But as soon as that smoke was down, it really nullifies their attempts. And like I said, should be an eco here. Even with the maximum loss bonus, they did not get a plant.
No, they didn't. I guess they could go for like a half buy if they really wanted to, Australis. I mean, they're going to have enough next round, right? So could maybe buy some deagles and mess around with. Wow, this is so crazy. How is it that there are so many good teams coming out of Brazil? Like, how are they sort of continuously producing all these people?
Brazil has been a bit of a mainstay Counter-Strike for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just CSGO. Like,
no.
1.6 and Source as well. They had some fantastic
One of my favorite players from there of all time as well.
Kogu?
Yes.
I thought it might be.
Watching Kogu in 1.6 AWP on Train was out of this world.
Yeah, I played against him a few times. He was a great talent.
In fact, I got to cast him. We were standing in that A-League tournament. One of the great honors. I was really happy I got to do that.
Here we go, upper rush. Ram didn't work out for them. Will the upper bomb side be more forgiving? Vinny doesn't seem to think so. He strikes down with 2. Bomb could be planted. That is some good news from Australis. They do need that to assist them with the loss bonus they have right now, but it's a 4 versus 3. They've recovered a rifle. Zipex will hold the AK in hand. If there's any chance they could win this, I'd love to see it, but with no utility, their options are very limited indeed. Serato coming in from the heaven position. It's now down to a 3 versus 2, but the bomb is ticking at some pace now. Flashbang, incredibly useful for them. Zipex, not really an ideal position. He'll be taken down. The P250 to finish off the job here. Oh my God, through the smoke! He can actually pull this one off now. Serato left in the 1 versus 1, commits to the defuse and Device. He'll take the bait, and fair enough. That's fine. Like, it's not like Device made a mistake there. He was low HP, P250, showed enough presence.
Yes.
He was hoping to get him off the bomb there. It would have been a godlike play if it worked out for him, but balls of steel as FURIA will get the full defuse. 13-10 to their name, and Astralis, still a good round, all things considered. P250s, upper bomb site, they got it down to a 1 versus 1 with bomb planted, but it was way too close. They'll still be disappointed.
It also looked like there was a possibility that Sib actually lined up both those kills with the AK, and then it would have probably been over. But yeah, nicely done, Serato as well. Just, I mean, committing to it. That has to take like a little bit of guts too, doesn't it?
I love that round.
Yeah, that was great.
This game's got everything.
Really does. Round number 24 now rolling in, and they have money back in the hands of Astralis. They got the bomb plant. They got a bunch of kills, which, again, that could really make a big difference in terms of keeping FURIA low. Like, what Astralis are just banking on right now is converting enough rounds into victories that they can force FURIA to eco, and then, you know, it could be a quite open game again. Oh,
Vinny.
It looked like he almost had ended up with a cold position then.
I thought so too. Well, it's going to be the opening kill. They're so good at finding opening kills. Vinny especially. Like, his stats recently have just been nuts in opening kills. And we will see a 5-on-4 come through.
No one on ramp?
No one on ramp.
Well, fair enough. I guess down below.
Yeah, they hold the lower bomb site. Like I said, ramp's not a bomb site. Like, if you just have one guy dropping down there and not really challenging for kills, it's not the end of the world to have 2 down lower, and you can actually maybe challenge Secret a bit more, you know? So I don't see many teams running an open ramp, but let's see if it works out for them. They've got full control of lower. Look at this play. It's going to be a nice trade coming in from Dupree. Will they detect another player towards Shadow? This is not the perfect weapon. I thought the no-scope was going to connect there. 3 versus 3 device. He'll find that kill. Bomb down. And now it looks like Astralis have a huge advantage.
Dupree has a Molotov. If they see all 3 coming ramp, that Molotov's going to buy a fair bit of time. Great kill for Device, and even better follow-up. That's an outrageous defense. He's even in the middle of the lane here, right? There's nowhere for him to go. So just absolutely stunning them. And Quesarado looking at the money. He's got a lot, but the rest really don't. So that's the power of that last round, where they got those kills. Device picking up 2, but Sip obviously doing most of the damage. Astralis are definitely not out of this. And the money for FURIA is going to be a huge deal. Quesarado just seeing if he could sneak in an exit kill. That's not going to happen. It will be 11 rounds now for Astralis and FURIA. Yeah. Ooh, is he going to try and find the AWP? No, it got stolen. Still, pretty good try. I like the idea. Yeah, Dupree had 24 kills as well, so he really wants it. He's been obviously playing a phenomenal game. Device up there. That's a classic duo, isn't it? Device and Dupree.
The double Ds.
Double Ds.
That's how you like them.
You know, I can't complain, Henry.
Sorry, I gotta send you down the river on that one. We'll get to the next round and get back on track. And we'll have the AWP still in the hands of Arts. Had a chance at the no-scope towards lower last round. Didn't work out for him. It's the kind of shot you just expect him to hit at this point. What a phenomenal talent FURIA have brought together here. It's a really solid team. There's not really any weak links you can poke holes in. Zipex with no grenades. They pull around back. 13-11. Holding up much more passively this time. Majors will line up forward smoke if he needs it in the future.
It's the money on FURIA.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what really concerns me.
They've got 0 on Arts, 50 on Abel Jet. There you go. They brought it up for you. Big round here. A lot on the line here. Both teams struggling financially.
Oh no. That did a lot of damage. I think that landed so far back, he wasn't even really ready for it. Now, he's got the AWPs, doesn't have to actually be the end of the world. He can still do a lot with it, but in retakes, that's a bit tricky. Now, we'll see. He's going to put a Molotov to buy. And actually, it's 40 seconds. That's really good. Good with the Molotov. That's going to really buy time.
That's, yeah, perfect usage of it. You're ideally funneling them back to another bomb site with one bit of utility, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But, oh, the flashbang's perfect as well. If he gets one here and stays alive, with every second that goes by, he's doing a good job. You can see how these halls have changed now. On this version of Nuke, you can't just hold a deep angle in the window room because of that corridor there.
Look at the time. He's bought so much time,
yeah,
not even
really
getting any kills. And there's the kill coming in on Device. Art is really playing a huge round right now. It doesn't seem like it's very flashy, but he's done so much. Glaive goes down as well, and there's one more kill. Art low in the beginning, but he does everything they need, and that's the round.
That's some really intelligent CS. They didn't have a whole bunch there. They had what? Towards the final commitment from Australis, he had an incendiary, a flashbang, that was it. He used them to their maximum potential.
Put it like this, you'll never see this round from Art in any frag movie like Highlight or anything like that, but that's actually that's insane. I mean, that probably should be in some sort of movie to set that up, because that's so much time being purchased. Even the flashbang, as you pointed out, just being able to get that extra, 3 seconds in, falls back, he stays alive. Even the 2 kills at the end, that's just icing on the cake at that point. He's already done so much. Amazing round out of Art. 14-11 now, moving into the very late stage of this game, and you could see they're starting to look, a little bit pressured. They're feeling it.
That's been his sentiment the last month or so, right? Like Astralis, they've even said themselves, that they're not feeling 100% great about the current situation of the team. Like, they're starting to lose some of their great records. They're not ranked #1 anymore. A lot of conversation around them. If they go out to FURIA before the playoffs, like that will be very detrimental to the team overall, I would say.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be a big blow, although I would say we should be really careful not to undersell FURIA in that conversation.
No, absolutely not. I do.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying the community should be careful, because FURIA are playing out of their minds. So this isn't some sort of but maybe they should feeling too well or whatever. FURIA are looking like an amazing team at the moment. So here we go, round number 26. We've got the AWP, we've got a couple of Orgs and an AK there on Quesarado. On the other team, still looking pretty good. Australis still able to fight for it, but man, this is near the edge right now for the Danish team. It's looking Looking a little bit grim.
We'll see what can be done with this one. Australis will have 5 AKs, of course. They've made their way outside. It's Glaive and Device in that position towards Secret. You can see them negating the halls, but once again, it's Art. Great spot for him. He showed us what he's capable of in the previous round. And just
No Molotov.
No Molotov this time, good point. And we'll see if this is going to be enough as they try and hold on. It's a very slow and patient procedure from Astralis so far.
Well, what are they going to try and do? From those 2 people down in Secret, you would think that they would they'd want to try and sort of get through ramp. I was trying to see, they may be faking out a little bit, so 1 smoke on Hut just to try and keep some people away. Art falling back. There's a good Molotov from him. They're going to run through it. Otherwise, that's a great idea. If he could have slowed them down, 30 seconds, missed shot, good follow-up, and even better there for Sip to take down Art. That is everything. I think FURIA should be trying to retake this one. In fact, try and get out with those rifles. You need the money. You can't afford to eco at the end of this game. That could bring Astralis very far back into it, so save everything you've got here.
Yeah, good point. FURIA will absolutely have to. That's a huge round from Astralis, down but not out. Luckily for FURIA, they have enough buffer here in terms of the difference in score to take an eco, which I'd say is probably going to be required. They're going to get 1,400, but it's that double eco situation again. If they save 2 of these rifles, I guess there's always the conversation we had. You might as well force because you're only getting 1,400 this round, you only get 1,900 the next. So you're going to be double eco regardless. You've got 2 rifles right now. Might as well go for it, swing for the fences.
Well, I think that was a critical round. Astralis pretty much had to win that round. They pull it out, and now FURIA, economically, very questionable. That double drop there is pretty huge for them. Oh man, they're right at the finish line, Henry, but they're not there yet.
Yeah, you never are. Like you might think you've beaten Astralis if you have a 14-5 lead or something, but until they reach 16 at the top, it ain't done. And indeed, they will force by. They've had to bring out Silence them 4 here. Haven't seen many of those this tournament, if any, I don't think. No. Vinny rocking that. And double HE outside. That should do some decent damage and then some. Down to 26, Glaive gets destroyed by the opening bombardment of HEs. 14-12. This round is so significant. Astralis will take heavy damage at the start. Dupree down to 64 as well. Another default round here, lining up the smokes. And remember, there are different variations of it. Just because the same smokes go outside doesn't necessarily mean it's the same tactic. You can send 1 player out there, you can send 4 players down there, or you can send 0. This time they'll be opting for 3 with the bomb, waiting towards the lobby right now. So potentially maybe a vent drop at that, we'll see.
Art down here with the scout. I feel like
just up there. Okay.
I feel like if he's going to be scouting from this position, we're talking about headshots for this to work out, aren't we? Which, to be fair, he could get, but if he's set up for it, still won't be nearly as easy. Flashbang, I was going to say, Device very slow after that flashbang. It's kind of good that no one was there. They could have maybe done a lot with it, but they're running the clock down solo. I know it's 40 seconds for Astralis, but still, I'd be getting a bit worried. There's only 1 smoke on FURIA, though, so that's kind of the sacrifice they've had to make. 33 seconds. Oh, God, it's getting late in the round, isn't it?
It's agonizing. Abel J, the CZ there, I'm kind of believing as well. We'll see if they walk into his crosshair. He's got the right mentality here, but you can get up towards heaven without the ladder, of course. 20 seconds now. Bomb making its way down Secret. This could be a nightmare. There's the CZ kill. Can he find the double? He can't, but he has caused chaos here. 12 seconds. They're not even on the bomb site yet, Anders. They've just got to run in blindly. Is anyone down there lower to block them? I think there is. 7 seconds.
Oh, they're getting the bomb.
Oh, he plants in the perfect side. I was ready for it. That was almost it. That would have been enough. He gets 1 kill. If they plant the wrong side, oh my God. But it looks like Astralis win the round now.
Oh, you're holding your breath throughout the last 10 seconds of that. That was a Seuss-level strategy, wasn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I think the Seedies have to save here. They don't have enough resources going forward. They have to let this one go. Art's going to go down. Oh, are they going for it? Yeah, surely not, lads.
No, they can't.
Let's call that one a day. Like, save the 3 rifles. This is where things get complicated.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah,
that was
that was too much even to watch. Imagine being the one with the bomb in your back.
If there's a guy hiding with even a USP in that bomb site,
that's what I was looking for.
You probably lose the round.
That's a problem with Nuke, because I can't see everything on the bomb site, even on the POV of the bomber. So I'm just like, is there anyone down there? Is there? And there wasn't. And if they had planted behind the silo there instead of towards double doors, FURIA win the round. It's that one detail that saves the day.
Like everything in that last second makes a difference. I really can't believe they waited that long. I mean, when they win the round, you say, okay, well, that was well coordinated or something. But I would say I'm bordering on reckless, Henry. I feel like that's too scary. Too much for me. I'm out of that kind of thing.
Wow. Oh my goodness, what a game this. I said it would go the distance. I'm so glad it has. USPs for Art and Abel. This is a difficult round. They did not force again. I guess they're looking at the bigger picture now. It's like, sure, we might be able to steal a round away with a mishmash buy. But let's at least let it go 14-14 if we have to, and then we can use our CT side to try and finish things off. There's still a chance you can win this round, of course. I'm not saying it's a done deal, but the first rifle goes down. Yuri playing that aggressive outside roof position.
They can't get that back, but Art is in here waiting. What is going on? He's got the USP.
If he backstabs him, okay. So Dupree's waiting. I was about to say they might have overlooked that, but Glaive, he's a secret. And it looks like this round is done. Keserato gets one back, but takes heavy damage for it. I'm not sure we'll be able to do much more than that.
No, but Vinny's still there with the M4.
True.
He really has been great. It's 2-on-4. It's unlikely, I'll give you that. Well, let's just see. Taking down Glaive. Going for no! Vinny to follow up. Oh, he's looking for it. He almost gets that third one in, but now up on the silo. That's the bomb back there. He knows he's going to take him down at 35 seconds, and he's off down to 4 health from that
jump. What's he jumped off like that for?
Has he lost his mind? What is going on? And now coming out of Mini. Yeah, Device has got the angle better. Oh, but he picks it up. Keserato on 4 health with the triple kill.
Oh, some parkour thrown in there as well. Didn't do the roll, broke the kneecaps, but I love it. I don't know what was going on there, Anders. I don't want to know what happened there.
Even if they have to wheelchair him into the next round,
how calculated is that? Like, the fact he lasted on 4 HP, I'm not sure that was intentional. I don't think he realized how much damage he was going to take. That is so nuts. A 4-on-2 to find the map point, or series point, I should say.
Yes.
And they've done it. Oh, that was such a wild round. It's always so exciting with FURIA on this server because absolutely bizarre stuff will go down every single time.
Yeah, you really want them in like every tournament for a while, don't you? Like, this is so good.
Get the invites out, boys. They need to be at every event.
Definitely get those invites out.
Oh my god. He jumps off the silo. I know what he's trying to do. I think he maybe misread the clock or something. Like, he was thinking, I just need to stay alive. Like, the bomb's down, I need to stay alive. Away. And he wanted to do that, but he could have jumped on T-roof or just gone off and dropped off safely. He opted. Imagine if he crated then. What would have happened? I don't know what I would have done. I'm not sure what my reaction would have been. I think a replay from Anders would be called.
We definitely need a replay. We still need that smoke. We're still waiting for that. Yeah, I can't. I mean, probably crying would have been a natural reaction.
I don't know what my reaction would be. I'd be like, I think I'd just be gobsmacked. I don't think I'd just be making noises. If he'd have created that, like, which could have been a thing. Like, I don't know how well he knows that jump, but that's some quick math that he did. He just looked off and was like, right, what, 60 HP? Yep, no problem. I'll still have 4 health. Off I go.
What a ridiculous... And I mean, the thing is as well, he was looking the wrong way for that mini fight almost until the end.
I didn't think he had it, yeah. But what a sick play that was. You said the Silence M4 could cause some damage. He gets those 2 kills. Player on towards Silo, drops the bomb. Almost a fumble, but certainly sticks to landing. I think that's a fair statement in that particular play. Could be the final rounds here. Luckily, Australis do have cash, and their default continues towards outside. They're going to need 2 rounds in a row to take us to overtime. Arts, this time different staircase. Same position down towards lower. Major sending them up with the flash towards garage. That should be a cue for them to swing around. Luckily, like we said, no AWP there. FURIA go against the grain of every other team. You'd expect the AWP to be outside, but Art seems to be down here almost every single round.
Well, it's a real switch up for the defense. Remember how often they would put Yuri in that secret room right on top of the stairs? So they've really switched their defense a lot on this bomb side, even from what was happening in Dallas.
Sure.
Quick to adjust, I mean, they're giving a lot of map space for Astralis, and that can be dangerous. Oh, they walk in it. Surely they're not going to check this corner. If one of these fall, yeah, Yuri, that's a big kill. Now they can really circle them in.
Oh
Abel
my God!
Shutting down the bomb, a big double kill. All Yuri had to do.
10 seconds.
They can't do this.
Insane. They've done it.
Wow.
FURIA 16, Astralis 13. There's no chance to plant the bomb. Yeah, you can try your best, Majors. This ain't happening. There we go. It is going to be a victory in a best of 3. They've been looking great in the best of 1s, and you'd think Astralis in a best of 3 with the playoffs on the line would step up and show us what they're made of. But no, it's FURIA answering back after the defeat on the first map. They made it real close. Mirage was there. That was convincing. I didn't think they'd bring that level of play to Nuke.
No. I mean, what a team that we're watching. we're simply just watching a great team unfold. And you guys stay around. We'll have an interview coming up with them really, really soon. Abel J ends at 23 kills. If you had questions about Furia, is it a fluke? Is it just that they're an unknown? Is it the aggression? Are people not ready for it?
They're just getting started, Anders.
Yeah, it really feels that way. And they've got deeper levels. We're seeing that now. It's not just the rush aggression. It's not just the crazy.
This is the first kind of look of them, and they're taking down some absolute giants of CS:GO. This is insane. This team has only really been on our radar the last 3 months or so, and they're getting better and better every time we see them. Yeah, sure, they still make mistakes, but mistakes are fixable, right? The talent's there. The players are there. And it seems like they've got the passion and the drive, and they're hungry for victories, and they're finding them now.
Those are tears, Henry.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
That's the passion we love.
You don't see it enough these days anymore, and this means so much to these young men. They're one of the youngest teams in Pro CS right now, and they have worked their asses off to get in this position. This is absolutely wonderful to see.
It really is, yeah. I do love it when you see that kind of emotion on players. Like then you want to get behind the team. Like you want to watch the next match that they're playing. They're so invested. That was wonderful. What a great game.
An amazing series. We said Nuke was going to be good. We normally say that whatever happens. The third map, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. No, this time we really meant it. It was a rematch of the best of one these two teams had at the first game of the tournament, right? It was 16-14. It was right down to the wire. They've gone back. They've done the theory. They've worked out how they could really pull it back and do it in the third map here.
Yeah.
It was looking a little bit rough at the start of Inferno. They were 9-1 down, remember? Australis looked like they were just giving them a masterclass. We're like, okay, all bets are off. Forget about the Furia hype train. And then they brought it back to like a 16-13 scoreline. They win convincingly in Mirage. I don't even have to tell you what happened on Nuke there. That was bananas. That was absolutely crazy. I really enjoyed it.
What a game that was. Well, you should look forward to this. We are down with the interview on the stage with Sue.
Oh, no,
a little bit more. A little bit more.
We're doing really well there.
I was getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited for it.
We've got any replays ready for Anders, maybe?
Maybe the smoke. I still really want to know, what did it bounce off? It's kind
That's
of
not a
mystery.
detail anyone else wants to know. Maybe in your own time, bring that together.
Henry, it could be the deciding thing.
The smoke.
Listen,
the one smoke.
Maybe not.
Either way, we have another best of 3 coming up tonight. We should make that clear. You and I are going to stick around for some more casting.
What is this tournament? It's NRG making it through. It's Furia beating Australis. It's North coming in. Like, we've got just everything going on.
Yeah,
Complexity
there's a lot
beating
of
MIBR.
That's one of the biggest ones for me, was some 15-year-olds turning up and just schooling some of the old legends. Yeah, that was really cool. There's been a great day of CS here. Here's the bracket for you. We'll talk through.
I thought it was the smoke.
So there you go. You can see in that upper bracket, it was the opening game. Astralis Furia 1-0 for the Brazilians. Astralis bounced back, taking down NIP. But now, this is where we're at in that middle stage. That's what just happened. Furia Astralis 2-1 removes Astralis from the tournament. Furia will now be qualified. There it is. I can't believe. I think if you saw this graphic and you didn't watch the tournament, you're like, it's got to be a mistake here. Like, something's going on.
You would think this was some madman's, prediction sheet, and you'd be like, come on, like, what are you doing? You're just trying to get all the points. And
that's got to be one of the biggest upsets in terms of a best of 3 with a lot on the line. It's not a throwaway game by any respect, right? This is Astralis has come back to big tournaments. They've been missing for a couple of months, right? That's the big talking point, and like this, it's going to be on their mind. It's going to play with the confidence going forward. They've got some big tournaments coming up as well, right? They've got Cologne. I think they've got Pro League finals as well. There's a lot coming up, and this is going to be damaging, I would say. This could be questioning everything they stand for the last few months. What's going on?
Yeah, you have to agree. I can't really wait for it. I mean, what an exciting time. We're going to go to a quick break, then we'll fix the mic issue, and then we'll come back with an interview. Definitely want to stick around for it. I look forward to this one. So just don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Introducing the Ecs Premium Pass. The unique viewing experience allows you to get further into the action. It enables you to focus on any player within the game and even the ECS official observer. Subscribers will have access to interactive HUDs, detailed statistics on all players, and an improved minimap, and much more. All Faceit TV Twitch subscribers will receive full access to 11 additional streams for the ultimate CS viewing experience. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now for only $4.99 and watch CS the way you want to.
Honestly home. Feed me. I know I wanted you home. It's true. Continue to boldly the places you're not supposed to. sing it all back. Ooh, my love, you were patient and wasted alone. And I know, yeah, I know that they pray to take you on and pick your bones. Oh, oh my, I know it's a lot. Completely giving yourself to the one. It's true, continue to back. Only I find myself tied to the knot. Ever so slightly, you are like me in only the thought. It's true, continue to back. Ooh, my love, you were patient and wasted alone. And I know, yeah, I know that they pray to take you on and pick your bones. Bring it all back to you. 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 Ooh, my love, you're patient and wasted alone. And I know, yeah, I know that they pray to take you on. I know, yeah, I know. Ooh, my love, you're patient and wasted alone. And I know, yeah, I know that they pray to take you on as one of their own.
Welcome back, everyone, to the ECS Season 7 Finals. I'm here with Art after a phenomenal performance by you guys, taking down Australis. This is amazing for so many reasons. Not only did you guys take down Australis back-to-back, you're also making the semifinals back-to-back 2 weekends in a row. You guys are showing that FURIA is here to stay.
That's awesome for us, not just going to the semifinals, but winning Astralis is just so big. I don't even can express my feelings right now.
It was just such a great performance. Obviously, just like you said, taking down Australis is big enough, but the first time you guys played them, it was a best of one. Best of threes are just so much more difficult. So coming into this match beforehand, was the mindset different at all?
Yeah, probably a little different, but I think the mindset was just the same from the start, like just doing our game and playing as confident as possible.
I want to talk about Nuke because it became so intense, just like it was yesterday. You guys were down, but it's always that CT side on Nuke that you guys are able to make some magic happen and get so many rounds in a row. So were you guys confident that you could pull that out to the very end?
Yeah, we knew the pressure was coming to them, so I was talking like we just have to do a default. They're gonna make mistakes, but props to the guys. They play very well. I have no words for them. They just played very well this map.
And I have to ask, what was the team's reaction when we saw Quesarito dropped off the silo? Because everyone in the green room was screaming.
I think if you have a picture at the moment, everybody was like this, like, oh my god, it's gonna die. But when he landed and had 4 HP, I knew he was gonna win.
For sure, and you guys did secure that win. And something I have to ask is, for several years, it's been very clear who the #1 team from Brazil was. But for the first time in a long time, it's looking like there's a new team in town. How important would it be for you guys to be able to get that spot?
Actually, it doesn't really matter to us. I think just playing our game. And if you are better than them, we're going to show it. If we're not, time's going to show it. So we're just going to do our game and hopefully play them sometime soon. It's going to be a huge game. Awesome.
100%. Really respect that mentality. And of course, semifinals are great, but something even better than semifinals are, of course, grand finals. And if you want to get there, you need to take down your next opponent, and it's going to be North. Now, North is looking really revitalized under Valde. Curious to see what your thoughts are on them.
It's the battle of the logos. I don't know. We're just going to play like we played every game and hopefully do a great game.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Art. Best of luck. Freya, back to you.
Thank you so much for that one, Sue. What an unbelievable performance from Faria. I wish we had a camera on in the green room because we were literally just screaming for those last few rounds, and obviously Art looking incredibly proud there with his Brazilian flag on, as he should be, right? They've just taken down the #1 team in the world, the defending champions of ECS. Three-time champions, winning twice last year. It's unbelievable. I'm
truly
lost for
magical,
words.
truly magical. Nobody would have expected that. I think we gotta give it to Furia. They played hearts out. They played a great game, and they were better than Astralis in this game. Sometimes you talk about teams winning, maybe a little bit on luck, or you talk about teams winning despite not being the better team. But this game, I feel Furia were just outplaying Astralis. They were better in pretty much every single aspect they needed to be better in. And we're talking about Astralis, the best team to potentially ever touch Counter-Strike. This is a huge upset, and it's very impressive that Furia was able to do it. They did it once in the tournament in a best of 1, but now they did it in a best of 3 Maniac. That's insane.
How insane, how crazy is that? That's the second time they beat Astralis in this tournament, second time they beat them on Nuke. And I think this series had everything to be historical. Obviously, Nuke had so many clutch moments. Caserado
we needed him to die, then that would have been perfect.
I lost my mind. I almost fell down the sofa when he dropped down the silo. It had everything. It had everything. Nice calls, aggressivity on both sides, crazy shots. The nerves were here. So right now, I don't even want to talk about flashes and smoke. I just want to think how crazy it is for Furia.
Yeah.
Like, they are creating memories they will carry their whole life.
I think what is so incredible about this is we were talking about it yesterday with that best of 1 against Astralis, and we were more talking about Astralis' mistakes. And obviously, there were some mistakes made here, but it was just that Furia were outclassing them. I think that's all there is to say.
I think it's fair to say. I think Astralis definitely didn't turn up in this game as they were supposed to. I think Furia were here to play. They were here to be the better team. And I think when you look at this matchup, and especially when you look at Nuke, I think Furia can be extremely proud of how they took down the #1 team in the world. As said, sometimes you do it by luck, sometimes you do it because you have a good day. Furia, they've been showing event after event now that they are here to stay. This is the first of many wins for Furia. You know, I'm 100% sure and I'm 100% convinced this team is only going to grow from here, and that is just amazing for them.
Well, it is amazing to see, and obviously we can see by the replays here. It's so emotional for them, right? It means so much to them, and I can't believe when I spoke to Vinny, he said, I don't want to be the best team in Brazil, I want to be the best team in the world, and they're going for it. And obviously all these spectacular highlights were brought to you by NVIDIA. I mean, there is so much to break down from that match. Where do you guys want to start? The floor is open.
Okay, let's try and make sense of everything that happened. First thing that I want to talk about is the frags on Furia, and what I really like is that everyone is in the same area. There isn't anyone that's really far ahead or someone that's lagging behind, and this is obviously a quality that you need to have in a team when you want to play for championship. You cannot rely on only one player, and we've been saying it at the desk. We've been throwing different names out there. Caserado, one of them for sure. You were a big fan of Vini. Art with the plays with the AWP. Yuri is out there with the stats, and they have that all together. And if you look at the series, which we don't see on the screen right here, they all have between, I believe, 58 and 62 frags. Yeah. Everyone is together. That's a team effort, and it's so beautiful.
It definitely is. And when you look at the Astralis side, right, it's a little bit more disjointed. And in particular, I feel we can be a little bit criticism, or put a little criticism on Astralis. I think Gimmicks, for once, didn't have a great tournament. We talked about him always being able to show up when needed. And Astralis did need him in this game, and he wasn't there. He wasn't pulling off the sick clutches. He wasn't pulling off the amazing Gimmicks plays he's known to do. Overall, I think Furia, as you said, Maniac, it was a team effort. And in this game, they were the better team with a big T.
100%. I mean, one name that we didn't point out there from the Furia side was Abel J, and I just wanted to point out that round 22 where he had that 4K when Astralis was just running at him on ramp, going towards B. It was it was unbelievable. He was just picking them off left, right, and center, and they had weapons. That was what was so unbelievable about that round.
It's funny because he's the equivalent to Gimmicks, right? Abel J is the Gimmicks of FURIA, and he had a great game, and especially on ramp, as you said, he was able to close them down time and time again. I think everyone from FURIA can be super proud of their performance.
Yes, very much. That's a make or break moment. He could, if he had fallen straight off in the first duel, Astralis takes the round, they're all ready to take the bomb side, and that's it, done. And the fact that he stands solid and strong, takes 4 with him, that was just basically a big no. Like, no.
Something Gimmicks could have done on a good day, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's kind of the storyline of this matchup. And Maniac, you've actually brought out some rounds for us to focus on. We're going to start off with the one on Mirage. What is that particular round you pointed out?
We are rolling back a little bit, trying to stay focused on what happened during these games. And there's a round that I wanted to point out on Mirage, the fact that Astralis were seemingly running out of options. And tactic-wise, I've seen some strategies that I used to see in 2016-17. So this is Astralis here setting up the A smoke. So you can see you have the 2 smokes on the left, right, and then CT base. Obviously, this is supposed to draw all the attention. Art is already in place, and you have the 2 Lurkers in underground. They're supposed to surprise FURIA, but here, Vinny, look at this. He's already in position for that. He gets the first one, doesn't get the second one, but then he is in position. That play doesn't work. That play used to work years ago, and I'm not saying that to make fun of Astralis, but this is, when I'm looking at this round, and they were down in this scenario, you cannot rely on, we used to call it the ninja. That's what we did, the ninja, right? We would smoke on A and then boost in the window.
Sure.
We do that and face it. You cannot do that, not when you're down, not against FURIA, not on Mirage.
It's fun that you say, right? Because I feel that's a strat we brought into the game in Dignitas in 2015 or something. Obviously, they can still work today, but you got to execute them properly. You got to call them at the right timings.
You got to be in the lead, right?
You got to be in the lead. You got to be ahead in the chess game, as you referred to as well. They weren't Astralis. They were playing from behind, and that's against a team of FURIA's caliber. They're not experienced. They haven't been here a lot of times. They're in a semi-final now. Potentially this... not potentially. This is the biggest result FURIA have done so far in their careers, and they did it with style, and they did it against Astralis, outplaying them with their own chess bricks. Amazing.
I mean, I feel like we've tried to calm down a little bit there, Mirage. We're going to go straight back to Nuke, and we're going to go for that second round that you've picked up, Maniac. What is going on here?
Well, I think we still need to give some credits to Astralis and make sure that people realize that this new game was an insane game. By no means was Astralis out of it completely. That was a fight from the get-go, and I picked up the pistol because I thought that Astralis were actually really on top of it and very lucid. And when we see that round unfolding, as you will see now, I thought that Astralis were running with it. So this is a pistol round. Astralis were trying to get to the lower bomb side pretty fast, but as you can see, FURIA is in position. There's a lot of training happening, a lot of damages, headshots are being distributed left and right, and Astralis is in a tough position. They realize that. They quickly go up to the bomb side here, they get the frag onto the door position, and then they secure the round pretty much. After that, they will all take very smart positions. You will probably see Device on the outside, lurking, and when I see this, and this is 9-6, I believe this is it. I believe Astralis is back in control. Even when they are basically the head in the water, they still find a solution. They realize there's a lot of people downstairs. We need to rotate now. They do it fast and swiftly. So I just want to say, Astralis, they were fighting on Nuke. It wasn't whitewashed. They were trying, and that makes the FURIA victory, even more amazing.
I definitely agree, and I think you can cook that down to one problem for Astralis. Obviously, there's a lot of different problems, a lot of different nuances that goes into a game like this, but the individual players of Astralis weren't there when needed, right? Because as you said, I think they fundamentally played some decent Counter-Strike. It was not that we were sitting back and thinking, that's a mistake, no. You shouldn't have done that. They were playing Astralis Counter-Strike. They were just not hitting the extraordinary shots. We didn't see Device come completely off. He had a decent game, but that's not enough. We didn't see Gimmicks with 1 or 2 clutches, which he always does. We didn't see Magic's boy, apart from that pistol round, really taking over the game. And we didn't see any of the other players, Glaives for that matter, making some 6 solid calls that we normally know Astralis to do. So FURIA deserves all the credit here, because Astralis didn't play bad. They were just outplayed by a better team.
100%. I mean, something that I noticed from Inferno, we had that 7-round run on the second half from FURIA. Exactly the same thing happened 7 rounds again on Nuke. It just seemed like they can kind of capitalize on that momentum when they build it. I think it's absolutely insane. But we are going to be moving over to our HyperX X Factor of the match. And we talked a lot about stuff that's happening in-game. So we're going to give this one to some love and romance happening outside the game. We can see this especially from their coach there.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
It is absolutely beautiful. You love to see it.
That's
the
Counter-Strike
true hype man.
It's Counter-Strike in a nutshell, right? We can sit here and talk all day about strategies and stats and timing and opening frags, but at the end of the day, this is also about emotions. You come to an event, you make memories forever, and I would like to be in FURIA's shoes right now. I would like to be there.
You know what we don't do enough in this analysis desk? We don't talk body language enough. If you were to compare these pictures with MIBR playing earlier today, you can see 2 completely different teams, 2 completely completely different teams in completely different state of minds, and this is a team who wants it. This is a team who has dedicated their entire life to be a good team. Because let's be honest, half a year ago, we didn't consider FURIA a top team in the world. We didn't consider FURIA a team that would even make it at tournaments like this. Now they stand in a semi-final. They've done it with style. They beat the best team in the world, and they're happy about it. They're excited about it, and that's something everyone, also the MIBRs, also the Astralis of the world, even Liquid, can learn from. That passion, that momentum, and that desire to be good, that's something everyone can get inspired by, myself included.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, really, and I think that is kind of what dragged them through that match, right? It was a long old one. It was an absolute marathon of a game. But of course, they're going to be doing the exact same thing tomorrow. They're going in another best of three. The road doesn't end there for them. We're going to take a look at our bracket for after that incredible win. I honestly can't believe it. Obviously, there's NRG also from that Group A. I mean, just going back and looking at that group, is this how you thought it would have panned out?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a risk here. Obviously, we forget about it. NRG secured their ticket for the semifinal quite quickly and beating FURIA 2-0. So what is very impressive for me is that FURIA have shown different phases throughout that tournament. Right? First they beat Australis. Everyone is crazy about it. Then they dropped the ball against NRG. They don't really exist in that game. NRG is, overmatching them in all departments. They come back against Astralis, and we think this is it. That's the end of the road. Astralis are back. They had that game against NIP. They warmed up. They're going to show them what it is to play against the best team in the world. And now we're 2 or 3 hours after that, and I feel silly because now FURIA have actually shown Astralis what it is.
That raises two questions as well, because there's no doubt, and I'm not trying to be a party pooper here, but if I'm not right now, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. They avoid playing Astralis in the semifinal. I think they were scared of that. Obviously, playing FURIA that is playing so well is going to be a big task for North, but I'm fairly confident that they rather want to beat FURIA or meet FURIA in a semifinal than Astralis. So that's one positive outside. The other one, how good are NRG? Because they were able to make FURIA look silly yesterday. They were much better. They were outplaying them, winning 2-0 in a match that we didn't really expect to go that way. So, I mean, FURIA showed two different faces, sure, but how good are NRG tomorrow? That's going to be a great question to see.
Well, and we're not even done for today. I think that's what is so insane. We have one more best of 3 going on after this quick break. But make sure you stick around as we are heading. And we're keeping along with the theme of love and romance, as we're going to see Smix and Parla. Smix giving some dating advice to Parla. Go ahead.